Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for the Friday video. Folks, I don't know if you've seen it in the news, but it's back again. The subject we all love. They're talking about a speed limiter mandate once again, with truck speeds ranging from 60 to 68 miles an hour for all trucks that can be electronically controlled. So, what do I think about this? Is there a solution here that maybe they haven't considered? One company recently told me about something they're doing, and I'm going to talk about it in this video. So in this video, we'll cover the speed limiter mandate, if I think it's going to happen, if I don't think it's going to happen, and I'll tell you what I think a better solution is in place of that. But before we do that, you guys give this video a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, look down below the video, make sure you're still subscribed, wait a few seconds, click that bell, select all, that way you'll get notified when future videos come out. Also down in the description below, there's information if you'd like to apply at Dart Transit to find out about dedicated runs, lease purchase, company driver jobs, you name it. Dart probably has it. But without any more time going by, let's jump in to today's topic. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round, for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. This is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back. So, you guys know we got a lot going on right now. This isn't the first time that they've talked about a speed limiter mandate. Canada already has one. I believe their trucks are set at 65. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not up on my Canadian law. But it's been presented several times as an option. Is it a good idea? Well, obviously no. First of all, there's lots of ways we could look at this. You've already got a so-called driver shortage, and what better way to increase that driver shortage than come up with one more rule or regulation that makes a truck driver feel like a little kid that needs their hand held and needs to be regulated that much more. Also, as you guys know, let's take it at, they're saying anywhere from 60, I've heard from 60 to 68. Let's split the middle, call it 64. From 64 to 85, which is the speed limit in parts of Texas, that is a 21 mile an hour difference. Your chances of being rear-ended go up exponentially. Now they'll tell you, we've never had a collision like that. Well, I find that hard to believe. And if you haven't, then it's only a matter of time till you will. You've got all these people in cars texting while they're driving, putting on their makeup, reading the newspaper. We've seen all the stuff they do, but yet we think that they're not going to run over trucks that are doing, in some cases, 20 miles an hour slower than them. Places like California, where it's 55 for trucks and 70 for cars, 15 miles an hour difference. It creates a safety hazard. All right, folks, let's talk about some more things about this. Nobody likes to get stuck behind two trucks drag racing. Well, if you set every truck in the country, or almost every truck in the country, there's some people still running older mechanically driven trucks that you can't speed limit. But for the most part, if most of the trucks on the road are set at the same speed, you're going to see drag races that goes for miles. Sure, weight has something to do. If you're pulling a load and your load's a lot heavier than the guy beside you, then you're going to be drag racing up and down the hills. But also, something as little as tire wear What do I mean by that? Well, a truck with brand new tires, the tires are going to spin a little differently than a truck with worn tires. So a truck with brand new tires will go slightly faster, maybe a half mile an hour faster. Now, do you think that guy's going to slow down a half mile an hour and get behind another truck? Absolutely not. He's going to stay in it and try to get around him, which is going to hold everybody up. If you think there's a lot of road rage and frustration on the road now, you wait till this happens and see what there is. And if you think experienced drivers are leaving the industry now and that turnover rates are high now, you just wait till this goes through. Now, obviously, I don't think it's going to go through. So who's behind this? Who wants this? And are they really concerned about safety? Well, based on my previous comments, I think you already know. I don't believe it's safety related. I think there's a much bigger reason why the ATA and a lot of these mega carriers want this mandated speed limit. And the short answer is it benefits them. Well, how, Todd? All right. Let's take 2 reefer trucks, both of them starting in Southern California with a produce load. Okay, 2,500 mile trip cross country. The one that has to go 60 miles an hour, that's a one-man outfit, or maybe he works for a company that has less than 100 trucks, they don't have the capacity to relay that freight across the country. So it's going to take him a lot longer to do it than a mega carrier. Why? Well, that mega carrier can run over to Phoenix, drop it, have another truck pick it up, run it over to, say, Albuquerque or El Paso, drop it, have another truck take it, and so on and so on. They can relay it. So then they can say, hey, we're offering all these relay runs. You can be home every day, home every other day, something like that. And it benefits them. It kills the small man outfits. So these mega carriers with 10,000, 12,000 trucks, it benefits them because they have the capacity that they don't care how slow the trucks go. Now, there's some exceptions to that. You guys know, I've mentioned it in other videos, I started at Swift Transportation back in 1996. Back then, the trucks ran a neck-snapping speed of 57 miles per hour. I remember when they turned them up to 60. We thought, oh boy, times are great. For lease purchase, they were one of the first companies to have a lease purchase. You had to put $10,000 down and your truck would run 62 miles an hour. Now times have changed. Their lease purchase is a whole different deal now. But back then, that was the deal. So, and another thing, you'd be at 60, but if you coasted down a hill, or not even coasted, if a trailer pushed you down and you got above, I think it was 62 or 63, they'd write you up. Excuse me. And after a few of those, they'd fire you. Now, fast forward to modern times, they realized it's hard to get drivers when you have slow trucks or when you have a slow truck reputation. So they've increased their speeds. I think if you have a forward-facing camera, it's optional, but if you take their forward-facing cameras, you can go 72. If you don't want their forward-facing cameras, you can go 70. That's neck snapping compared to what it was back when I was there. Now, sorry about that. I had somebody coming up on the truck asking me a question. Let's talk about what I think a good solution is. When I was going through my deal with DART, the little disagreement we had, I spoke with a trucking company that's doing something different I've never heard of. You guys know these trucks have these cameras in them now. Mine actually shows a little speed limit sign up on the dash. So if you happen to miss a speed limit sign, you can look at your dash and it'll tell you if it's 65 or whatever the speed limit is. Well, they can tie that into the governor on your truck. And this company that I talked to, they said it's just a software update on their trucks. and it will allow the trucks to go 2 miles an hour over whatever the speed limit is. So for example, if you come into a construction zone, it'll slow you down to the construction zone speed limit, or 2 miles an hour over. Top speeds, so if you got on that Texas road that's 85, would be 75. But this would control the speeding, which is what everybody is so concerned about. This would allow drivers that say, I just want to be able to do the speed limit in every state. It would allow them to be happy. And these guys that say, hey, I like to run 60 miles an hour for fuel economy, it would allow them to do that too. This looks like a solution that would work for everybody. Safety departments should love it because the truck won't be speeding through construction zones or school zones. Obviously, you guys know and I know, sometimes these dash cam speed limit sign reader things will misread a sign. It'll read an access road instead of the road you're actually on. So there's still going to be instances where it's going to be wrong, but what you would have is drivers reporting back, hey, when I went through here, it was wrong. The speed limit's actually this. Safety departments could go in there and adjust it and so forth like that. So this is obviously something new. I've never heard of it, but I think it's a great idea to where it either adjusts the speed limit based on geotagging, which is by what state you're in or whatever, or by the speed limit signs themselves. As I said, 2 miles an hour over the speed limit up to a maximum of 75, which is what they claim now that steer tires are rated for. Back in the day, we did a lot more than 75. After 25 years of driving, I've never once blown a steer tire. Now, knock on wood, I could blow one tomorrow, but I've been really fortunate to never blow a steer tire. But I do keep an eye on my tires and watch them pretty close. So I'm going to wrap that up with that being the final thing. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Leave me a comment below. Shoot me an email, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on these things. But until next time, come back Monday. I got a big announcement about DART, I think. I'm waiting to have an email come in. So you guys join me Monday for that big announcement. I'm excited to tell you about it. We'll see y'all then. Take care. Bye-bye.